Congratulations.
Congratulations, RWBY. Congratulations, RWBY.
Honestly, I probably should have ended the episode with that, but I couldn't think of a way to start. It's a weird one, folks, and there goes the cat.
She heard clapping and she's like, I gotta go.
She's like, nope, I'm leaving, and I'm tearing up my scratching post. I don't know if the camera's picking up any of that noise.
No, but, yeah, these
episodes have been weird.
Very weird. I think this was the most screaming I've done.
It is the most screaming you've done since we started watching this show. So we're covering...
I mean screaming in a good way. Screaming in a good way.
So we're covering, I think we're on...
7 and 8?
Is it 7, 1, 2, 3, 4 on its own, 5 and 6? Yes. We are on episodes 7 and 8 of RWBY Ice Queendom.
We can count. High five.
Bitch. I passed kindergarten. I believe me.
Let's make that escape. We made it out of Silly Jail.
Silly Jail has donuts, though?
I do like the donuts.
Silly Jail has donuts. Anyway, these are discussion videos. These are not reaction videos because I almost called it Silly Jail. Ice Queendom is not solely a Rooster Teeth production, and therefore things get a little weird, and I don't want the YouTube algorithm to come on me like a large 6-armed golden statue. So, discussion videos only. I'm Katie.
I'm Megan. Hi.
We're losing our goddamn minds. This was definitely a game of how many references can we make while we're watching this?
Yes.
Because it was all just like, you know, this is how we frame things, is seeing references in everything. So we're back in the dream, and we've decided to save the train.
Dream Warriors, baby!
Jean with a sword, that is. Jean with a sword and a cape, neither of which are helping him. It's this big, ornate, like, Final Fantasy summon sword.
I love and you know, the characters point this out too, but I love the way that, again, Dream Weiss has characterized Jean. Because with the big sword and the cape and everything like that, she has basically looked at him and gone, ugh, a useless white knight type, you know?
Pretty much.
That is great. It says, you know, each of their individual dream character designs are like wonderful insights into the way that Weiss looks at each of them.
Yeah.
And her views on them have been like warped and distorted, obviously, by this funhouse mirror, you know, world. And I think that Jean being both in Silly Jail but also being a useless white knight is absolutely perfect for their season 1 dynamic. 100%.
Oh my god, yes. It's just like, this guy.
Although I will say, with like all of the trouble, one of the issues with this kind of being a shoehorned, like, sort of in between quote, is that with the high stakes, it makes the way their relationships sort of function in season 2 like kind of interesting to look at, because it's like, hey, you remember that really messed up life or death situation that we were in like 2 days ago? Let's never talk about it again.
No, I was asleep for the whole thing. Now leave me alone.
But that being said, it being kind of like awkward, like thinking about it in retrospect, this is so much fun.
It really is.
Really hit the ground running with these episodes.
Oh my god. Can we talk about the fact that Silly Jail is a carnival?
Yes, I love it!
And also that we've had, and I want to point this out before the thought goes, we have had 3 relics show up so far. The white one in that coffin that she keeps in her office that we now know is like the true sleep that you can have when you succeed. So, you know, me staring at this coffin like, guess I'll die.
Yeah. Ah, the sweet embrace of death.
Sometimes puppet shows are sad. Yeah, so we had that one. We had the red one that was in RWBY's bunk in the room. We had the yellow one that was in Silly Jail. We're missing $10 to donuts. There's a black one in the Fauna's house.
In the place where Bashful Klein.
In the Bashful Klein exile house.
Where Weiss keeps all of her shameful
I was gonna say, you wanna tell the camera what you called it?
I called it the door to horny jail.
Yes. This is where the shameful thoughts go.
And repressed.
Alright, honey. Of course it would be Bashful Klein. Thank you for that. I love it so much. Oh, where are they going? Oh, horny jail. Oh, and we sent the lesbian girlfriends there? Yes!
The lesbians to horny
You sent the lesbians to horny jail. I love it. I love it so much. For those going, are you guys okay? These are all filmed at like 10 or 11 p.m. after we've been at work all day. So yes, but what are spoons? We're doing our best, folks. Horny jail.
Spoons are what you use to eat the sweets from Silly Jail. Because there are so many carnival things.
Have you ever tried to eat a donut with a spoon?
I mean, there's gotta be other sweets there, like ice cream. And
The one that stood out to me was indeed the baked donuts sign. But yeah, Silly Jail just seems to change depending on the day. It gets upgraded a lot, because first it was just like, it's jail, and now it's like, it's jail with performance arts, so it's the musical Chicago, and now it's like, it's jail, but a carnival, so it's the Hotel California.
John would absolutely be Mr. Cellophane. Sorry. My heart broke a little.
I was thinking more in terms of like Cell Block Tango, but I'll take that.
I would love to see a rendition of the Cell Block Tango.
Cell Block Tango from Salem's point of view.
She saw himself as alive, and I saw him dead.
She did all of the murders. Every single one.
Like, I could absolutely hear the delivery of, he ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 10 times. Beautiful.
It's weird how the best part of these videos have been us theorizing about someone who's not in them.
I mean,
Between that and I totally base the apathy on my ex, like all my Salem headcanons in these videos, where she is not
she's
appearing in this
evil,
video.
but also, yes, queen, we stand.
We do not stand, but she is fun to watch.
I was gonna say, in that hypothetical, like, hey, you go, girl, sort of mean girl boss way.
Nah.
Not in actual canon. She's murdered so many people.
I mean, I kind of like Buckwild Girl Boss Salem that we've come up with here. But like actual canon Salem is...
No. She did experiments on people and like definitely murdered Ruby and Yang's mom. So like no.
No, I don't think Summer's dead. Boy, we probably
fate worse
should have
than
done
death.
the spoiler warning at the beginning. I forgot about that. Well, if you're here watching the video for episodes 7 and 8...
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're laughing so much. I'm dying a little bit. Oh my god.
I would say lock it down, but no. The nighttime at the nerd bar joke when we get like this is big Monday energy because we record every Monday. And let's be real, the Monday energy is real.
No, this day has the audacity of being Thursday.
It's a Thursday when there's no critical role. So I'm unmoored.
Untethered to reality.
Yeah, kind of.
A lot like the people in Silly Jail.
A lot like the people. A lot like this entire dream. So yeah.
A lot like this
Silly
entire
Jail.
video series.
This is very true. So, Silly Jail, we take my brain said icon. We take the relic and release the hounds. And by the hounds, I mean all the baby Weisses.
I do love, the like
baby jail.
I love the manifestation of all of Weiss's childhood wants and desires of just being like, hey, I want to play, I want to do this, I want to do this. I want to spend time with my family. I want to play outside.
The fact that I want to talk to mom and dad was what came over the statue of Jacques.
Yeah.
And the first time we see a Titan baby Weiss, because this all gets very Attack on Titan very quickly.
Which we were not expecting.
No, like, weird shit. But it's the first thing we hear from when we see a Titan baby Weiss is, I want to make friends.
Yeah.
So, like, okay.
I also think it's a very, very cute detail that childhood Weiss is wearing a hood in the exact same way that Ruby wears a hood. And so I don't know if that's because she sees Ruby as really childish, if that's something her mind has imposed on these childhood manifestations, or if, like, she literally had a hood that she wore when she was a baby.
I'm thinking probably the latter.
And so seeing Ruby, that's one of the reasons why she thinks immediately immature brat when she sees Ruby, is because it's like, ugh, you still wear a hood?
Ugh.
It's not even snowing.
It's not like you're based on a fairy tale and named after a hooded cloak or anything. No.
But I think it's just one of those cute little details.
Oh, yeah. No, so we have a baby jailbreak. Silly jailbreak where everything goes nuts, and I guess the silly is infectious because nothing like seeing the robots running around going, I want to eat sweets.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
I didn't watch a ton of it when it was initially on, but they reminded me of the robots from Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex.
Yeah.
The ones that had the little baby voices. They were so cute.
Yeah.
That's what these reminded me of. Just, didn't you say the one that was like skipping? Just
yes. Seeing the robot skip was just like, I'm here for this. This is amazing. And so, of course, Weiss has to show up and fix the baby jailbreak because as we get... I love that we cut away to the professor just in a hammock, chilling, waiting for a phone call.
Which you called it. Just
meal and a nap, y'all.
Yeah.
It's a meal and a nap. I mean, what else can you do when you are legit just sitting here waiting for the phone to ring?
Could you imagine just like they've done this like multiple times. So it's just like all of a sudden, it's just like, these kids, please don't make me do this again. I'm so tired.
Well, the other adults have left, so I can't talk to the other adults. And let's be real, that Oz guy has kind of weird vibes anyway.
Like, can we talk for a minute about how irresponsible he is as a headmaster?
Well, okay.
All right, that's fine. I'll keep it to myself.
The other kids here, but at least one of them seems responsible enough not to fuck with things. So we are on round 3. I need a break. So just like chilling with their hat over their face, waiting for the phone to ring, answering the phone when it does ring. Good on them. Like,
yeah, not.
They're like, no,
not
I'm here
sleeping
for you.
on the job, like
Not sleeping, just chilling.
Because yeah, what else can you do? Like you said,
Yeah, it's whenever you're waiting for a call, it's the worst thing. 'Cause it's like, I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything, I can't commit to anything else. I just have to wait for the phone to ring. Except usually when I'm waiting for a call, it is not life or death stakes for someone's Inception.
you just got to be careful about those phone calls where you answer and they're like, "Have you checked the children? The ones stuck in the dream world? Yeah, they're over there."
Have you checked the children? I am at a school. Be specific.
There are lots of children.
Why are you calling me on my dream phone? And then there's a tongue. Not again.
I'm your boyfriend now. Nope. Not doing that again.
Nope, not again. You go on one date.
Never going out with a malevolent dream demon ever again.
Swear to the brothers, I thought he understood me, and now he just can't take a breakup.
Always with this guy.
I mean, he had some good ideas about, like, shaping dreams and whatnot, but then the murders started.
And he had the most insufferable puns that he just thought were so funny. It's like, yeah, some of them were kind of cute, but like...
It was funny the first few times, but then he started recycling them.
Well, that, and like, sometimes they were like a stretch, where like, you could sort of see a pun if you squinted real hard.
Yeah, just... I need a partner who's not quite that try-hard and also not that homicidal.
I need...
Also, his glove wasn't also a gun, which is a problem.
I need RWBY characters reading horror movie monsters for complete and total filth. I would not hate that.
I just have this image of Yang taking down Jason.
Yeah.
Of all things. Not everyone can box Jason successfully, but I think she could.
I was gonna say, the one time someone
tried, they were a normal-ass human.
They didn't have like gun gauntlets.
Yeah. This is
Anyway,
a bunch
sorry.
of loose tangents vaguely held together by
Sorry,
when we
let's-
remember what the video was.
Let's end
This is
the Silver
this is a
Screams portion of the
content
video.
This is a content farm with a vague through line. You're welcome.
Anyway, so silly jail. What else were we talking about?
The
the relics. The
jailbreak.
relics.
And, yeah, so again, dollars to donuts that there is a black relic in horny jail. It's horny jail now. You've ruined it. And I'm staying right
Ruined
here.
it or made it better?
Both? ¿Por qué no los dos? But yeah, we've had relics so far corresponding with the colors of Team RWBY, so why wouldn't there be a black one with in another room where someone precious to her is being kept? Like, even
The
if you're
house
not
is
allowed
purple.
inside.
Yeah.
It's like, even if you're not allowed inside, you're still precious.
Yeah, I do.
It's like when you kick the cat out of your bedroom at night, but you still make sure that she's got her own nice bed to sleep in.
I do like the couching it in the the framework from her point of view of like, I'm keeping you safe, I'm keeping you entertained. You know, this is your pure hearts can't deal with the responsibility that weighs on my shoulders.
Oh, we're back to silly jail, not horny jail.
Oh, sorry.
I was talking about horny jail. Different
Sorry, I
entertainment.
pivoted. I pivoted.
You did
We don't
pivot.
know what's in horny jail yet.
I mean, we know what's outside of horny jail, and it's bondage.
Yes.
There you go.
Weird modern art.
Mannequins strung up,
Weird-
people screaming.
Weird modern art signposts that look like kitty cats.
A do not enter sign with cat ears. So like,
Part of the gate also looked vaguely
there was
cat-shaped.
wrought iron cat shapes in there. So it's like, all right, Weiss, you learned one thing about her, and that was it.
You found that out like yesterday.
To be fair, when you find out something that big yesterday, and it
is gonna be on
rattles
your mind,
what's in
yeah.
you, it's going to be on your mind.
Fair,
It's on your mind. When you are forced to confront your own biases, it's on your mind. It sticks.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Sorry, I just
I-
think it's very funny. Of like,
Oh,
that
it
was on Thursday.
It is very funny where it's like, you know one thing about her and suddenly everything is just,
We were talking about Harley Quinn before we started, and the most recent episode from when we're recording, they did have a moment where Bruce buys Selena a couple cats. And she's like, "Is that the only thing you know about me? That I like cats?"
so that's kind of where we are. It's like, you
Is
learn
that all you know about me?
You learn
Weiss?
one thing about her and suddenly it's everything. So yeah, we have to have a fourth relic. We've removed the other three that we have from play. So it has to be the one that corresponds with Blake. It has to be our black relic in horny jail.
Which I really love that that's clearly going to be the key to how they end up defeating the nightmare, is her confronting her own biases and having to, like, you know, come to terms with these conflicting feelings that she has about Blake. Yeah. It was a rough start this season.
Yeah.
It was a rough start this season, but knowing that that's where we're going, and like seeing it shake out, especially with these really fun dream landscape like set pieces.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time with it. I didn't like when they were in the setup phase and like the pacing.
setup phase was very rough.
Yeah, and it, like, I think you mentioned it at the top of this series, it was just, it feels like we're doing Weiss dirty, like we're doing, we're characterizing her in a way that made her a worse person than she was in season 1. Which I do still agree with, but I love actually seeing the inner machinations of, I got some stuff to work at.
And I mean, you have to have someplace to go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see where that one goes. Can we talk about the robot? Can we talk about the giant statue? Can we talk about how Weiss's solution to silly jailbreak and attack on Chibi is, for one, to fix the statue of her dad and give him the big Nicholas armor and just like the creepy face.
We didn't even talk about the train aspect of things. Where?
We do know they saved the train.
They saved the train. And, like, I was making jokes about it before it happened, but it was literally, open the gates of your heart. And, like, literally, that's what she had to do. Which I thought was great.
And then the whole city had to reconfigure itself because it's like, oh, we actually managed to get a train in here successfully.
We didn't have a plan for that, actually.
Like, oh, we didn't plan for success. What? But yeah, the whole city just kind of moving buildings aside and reconfiguring, like, yeah.
I love the shifting landscape of dreams stuff. That's a lot of fun.
Yes.
Sorry, you were saying Golden Robot. Golden Robot of Big Nicholas.
So we put Jacques in Nicholas's armor, and then we go for the giant statue of Big Nicholas with 6 golden arms, and I'm sitting here just like,
Merry Christmas!
Oh no, I'm over here just, experience oblivion. Like, yep, nope, that's what we're going for.
The immediate thing that came to my mind was, there's a Legend of Zelda boss. I believe it's in Twilight Princess. It might be Skyward Sword. I might be mixing up my games at the moment. But it's like this big golden statue. It has these multiple arms with scimitars. And I think at one point you have to like rip off its arms and like beat it to death with its own arms in order to beat the boss. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Twilight Princess.
Whereas I went straight for Zenyatta. It's like, we have 6 glowing gold arms, and I am Overwatch trash. There's no way I'm not gonna. Except that the Christmas skin, the line is experience merriment.
Aww.
That's not what's happening here.
Which is what you'd think Big Nicholas would say.
No.
Santa.
No, this is just all sorts of, it's very much boss fight, trying to punch things, gathering up all of the chibis and eye lasering them so that they're no longer titans and then dumping them back inside.
I kind of want to take footage of this giant golden robot doing just that. There's some audio from The Simpsons where Mr. Burns accidentally crashes through the Simpsons' home straight into Lisa's room. Goes, oh, terribly sorry. Back to sleep, little girl. Santa? Oh, terribly sorry. Back to silly jail, little girl.
Yes.
Santa.
And the analysis of, yeah, she's keeping all of the childish thoughts safe. Like, you can't let those run amok if you want to move ahead in life. If you get into all
grow
of that,
up,
it causes problems. But she is keeping them safe, like we talked about before we went back into Inception hell. But yeah, so I appreciated that. I appreciate Jean. God bless him, he is a silly through and through. But understanding things like this. And then also finding out, like, when the nightmare starts to get out of control and infest everything, that the train car with his giant stupid sword stuck through it on accident is one place that it won't reach because of his immunity.
Can we also talk about the fact how heartbreaking it is that Dream Pyrrha has basically only spoken when she's performed Weiss's song?
Oh, yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
And it's also like, we're in silly jail, but she doesn't get to be silly. We had Ren and Nora being silly.
Yeah.
But it's just like, no, she doesn't get to be silly.
Well,
she's in silly jail, but she's in fancy dress and still on a pedestal.
Yeah. I love it because it's oddly insightful about Pyrrha's situation. And, you know, her current difficulty communicating her feelings to various people, but also how much of that, like, legitimately insightful bit on Weiss's part is also her very much projecting her own situation onto Pyrrha.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. It's just like, that's some cool, like, character stuff when you really think about it.
It's like, yeah, no, that is... you just take apart the symbolism here, and it's a good time, which is what you're supposed to do when you have dream-based media, is just be like, crack it open, see what's inside.
And sometimes you find little beautiful golden nuggets, and other times you get Freddy Krueger sticking his head out of a TV.
And other times an entire swarm of bats flies out. Like, who knows? Speaking of, taking pot shots at Whitley, these episodes was just like...
Pretty great. First Weiss and then RWBY, and it's just like, yeah, Keep doing that,
Like,
please.
yeah, I know later on we have a redemption arc for him. Later on he does get better. But we are definitely not there at this point in the story. So at this point in the story, it's good to be like,
yeah, no. He is just as much a victim as both of his sisters.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, like, when he's being antagonistic, really, at the end of the day, he doesn't really, like, him in RWBY canon proper, he doesn't do anything except be mildly annoying. you know?
He's mildly annoying, and then when things turn around, he's like, what if I helped? What if I did, like, good things and helped people not die?
And during the attack, like, when stuff really starts going down, he oddly has a few MVP moments where it's just like, I don't know where I thought your character arc was going. It wasn't here.
I was not expecting play of the game this episode to be
like, twice in a row with, like, the saves, with, like, some of the Schnee resources, and then, like, again when it comes to the Hound stuff. And, like, a couple of those sequences where it's just like, well done, kiddo, well done.
Again, I was not expecting play of the game to be Whitley.
But for right now, he's just an annoying little rodent. An annoying little flying rodent.
Which is why this is fun.
I still think he oddly looks like Rouge the Bat with the white hair.
Yeah.
It's very silly to me.
We do get in for another nightmare fight, and it just goes so poorly. Again.
I still love the design of this thing.
Oh,
it looks so cool.
And they keep focusing in on, like, the dress that's above it. So I'm like, do we need to save that? Do we need to destroy it? It means things. What does it mean? Figure it out. And also talking about that Weiss's resistance to the changes in the dream is being used by the nightmare. Like, it was good when we had the train come through, and that was a good change, and then silly jailbreak happened, and everything went nuts. It's like, no, that's a little too much. A little too much. We tried, and oof. So once again, the boss fight just goes poorly.
Yeah. It looks great, though.
Oh, it looks great.
It looks great. And although I like, it does bum me out, like, how quickly Yang got yeeted out of the room.
See, that's tactics, though.
Yeah, no. It was a good call. But yeah, it was almost immediate. It's like, oh yeah, no, she knew. She knew she had to get her out of there.
She knew that was going to be trouble.
I also, sorry, I'm, like, pivoting, like,
that's fine,
all over the place. But I also really like the mini arc in, like, the previous episode and this one and these two episodes. I like the mini arc of Yang acknowledging that RWBY is growing up.
Yeah.
And being able to, like, I'm your big sister, I'm always going to take care of you, but then also take a step back and be like, no, I'm going to let you, be team leader. Which is something that is sometimes there in the show itself, but I think in the show itself, she's more than happy to, like, most of the time, this latest season being an exception to that, let RWBY lead and follow RWBY's lead. And so I do kind of like
to be fair, this latest season has been a lot.
Yeah. So. And I do kind of like that, seeing that transition from, I'm your big sister, I'm always going to protect you, you stand back, to... take it away, leader.
You got it. Let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of... Once we got past the pacing issues and the rocky setup, like, there's been a lot of really fun, really good stuff in here. Once we got the whole team together, that's when it really took off.
Yeah.
And that was only, like, 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
It was not... Setup took a while.
Setup took a while, and setup was really rough. And I feel like that there's nothing else in the show that's going to change our mind about how rough those first handful of episodes are. But now that we've really hit our stride, I'm having a really good time. And I like what they've been doing.
Yeah. And we get the... Because the jokes that we were making for, if you get touched by the nightmare's thorns in the dream when she woke up bleeding, I'm like, if you die in the game, you die for real. No, it also infected her. Like, that was my initial thought was, okay, but can it infect you if you
come into contact with it like that?
Because that's how it works in the real world, is it got in close and got them. So, I was like, okay, oh, I guess it's just if you die in the dream, you die for real. Oh no, it is an infection. Because we get to see that spreading on Ruby, and it affects her in the battle, that she drops things. And then when Jean gets her away to safety, it affects her afterwards. Like, he's trying to reassure her and be like, oh, it's this, so it's good. And she's just spiraling.
Yeah, she's just like, not only is she like, I failed Weiss, Team RWBY itself is an embarrassment compared to Team Juniper.
And it's like, oh, sweetie.
Oh no.
That's not you.
No. And yeah, and you can just...
That's the depression plant talking.
Absolutely, that's not you. Although, it led to an incredible moment, which is the end of these 2 episodes. I adored what they were doing, because you called it the second you saw the little spiral thing, being like, okay, it's an infection. Are we going like Inception here?
Yeah.
And you called it, and sure enough, she gets up and she's alone, and we're in Ruby's nightmare now.
It's like, oh, and it's in Beacon, and everyone else is awake, and there's the remnants of the hammock, and Weiss just, you saved me, you're my best friend,
and a great leader,
and then everyone coming in and starts clapping, and then like the robots come in and start clapping. And it's just it's so like there's a reason I would like I think when they came in, even before they started clapping, the joke I made was congratulations,
RWBY, congratulations, RWBY, and then it kept going. No joke.
Like, when they walked in, I was just congratulate, like making jokes about it, and then you're my best friend, and then they actually started clapping, and I'm like, oh god, they did it.
They did it. They
actually did it.
Like, I think this is like full on homage to like this feels fully intentional as an homage to that. But
in no way it isn't.
But instead of it being the happy ending that it was intended to be for Evangelion, spoilers, I guess.
It's been like 25 years.
Sorry if you haven't had a chance to watch it, but instead of being that kind of bittersweet but hopeful ending for Evangelion, this is utterly despair-inducing for RWBY. And I gotta be honest, I am a sucker for the oh no, like anime expression face, like that, like, oh, some shit is about to go down, and
so
ew,
good.
This sucks so bad.
Seeing the expression crumple, like, anime is very good at that, and at the light leaving someone's eyes,
which we had with Nora in episode 7. Yeah, I think. With the zombie things. That was really cool. But yeah, it is quite literally looking at RWBY realizing she's in a nightmare. You can pinpoint the exact moment when her heart rips in half. And there.
And I'm just kind of sitting here going, so how do we fix that? Because on the one hand, you don't really want to, because I think we have, that was episode 8, we have at least 3 episodes left, if not 5. On the one hand, you don't want to backseat one of your protagonists like that, especially when this show, it's focusing on like Weiss's area and Weiss's growth, but we have had a lot more focus on RWBY than anyone else as a character navigating this space and her growth as well. So on the one hand, it'd be really interesting if Blake and Yang broke Weiss out of the dream and then they had to go get RWBY. On the other hand, you are backseating one of your main characters, and I don't think that sequence of events plays out as well as getting RWBY and RWBY being instrumental in saving Weiss.
If I were to make a prediction, I would say that RWBY is actually going to break herself out of this nightmare spiral.
I think Jean's gonna help because he's there and he's immune.
I mean, he would be a good candidate because even though he hasn't unlocked his semblance yet, that is very much his skill set.
Yeah.
So for sure.
He's the party paladin.
But I also think it's entirely possible that RWBY will just break herself out. One, because she has an awareness of what's happening. She has a tactical advantage, essentially, that Jean and Weiss both did not have, because they did not know what was happening to them when it happened. RWBY knows exactly what's happening, hence the look of heartbreak and terror. But the
I made the phantasmic joke for Weiss, but honestly, this is my dream.
that is 100%
That is
what it's going to be. And also, Ruby just as a character, for all of the heartache and melancholy from the grief that she and her family have experienced, for all of that, like, heartache, she has always had this unwavering light in her, too. Yes. Something where, regardless of how dark and dire things seem, she can always push through. And I think it is exactly that type of character to be in the middle of a nightmare and go, no, we're not doing this anymore.
You know what? No.
I'm breaking out. I've got shit to do.
Very shonen protagonist.
Yes.
Very shonen protagonist.
Yep. I was going to say, do you know what show we're watching?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, but no, it's absolutely 100% a potential shonen protagonist setup moment. And I'll be honest, again, as a trope, as a dream trope specifically, I eat it up. I love it. It tastes so good.
Feed it to me slow, like
that's my shit.
Yeah. So God, I think that is most of it.
That's most of it.
We covered it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked...
Boss fight, Inception,
we
jail.
Sort of grazed over the like jailbreak, the characterization of like Ren and Nora a little bit. Quite literally, Weiss sees them all as kittens.
Yes.
Like to the point where they're literally saying meow.
I don't know if y'all have
silly.
ever corralled a group of kittens.
It is funny.
They're adorable and it's not easy.
It is very funny that she's like, you precious, sweet, adorable things. Hurting you is such a pain. Yeah, she literally.
If you ever open the door when you've got a group of kittens in a room, you will get door darters. Me having attempted to enter and exit a small room with 12 kittens in it.
They're so cute. Stay inside.
The halcyon days of shelter volunteering, before we had the little cubicles to separate litters, we'd have 3 of them in a room and it would just be all of them. And it's like, that's where I have the pictures of me sitting down with 6 kittens.
I was going to say, yeah, you look in through the window and it's just a carpet of kittens with Katie's arm sticking out and then slowly sinking.
Look, having been in a room with that many kittens is why I have that answer to, would you fight 1 tiger-sized duck or 100 duck-sized tigers? And I'm like, the tiger-sized duck. I will take the tiger-sized duck. I have been in a room full of kittens, except that would be essentially a bunch of house cats attempting to murder you. Like, ducks are pretty good size. That's not kitten size, that's cat size. That is fighting 100 cats who each have 20 little knives attached. Like,
so cute.
Y'all, take the duck. Take the duck. This is the weirdest video.
It is. I apologize, everybody. We're very tired and very
apologies. Yeah, we are 4 videos in for this shit. Y'all know what you're in for.
I would hope
know
so.
what you're in for. But yeah, I think that's it.
I think so too.
Most of it was 80% tangent by volume, but we got there.
I appreciate all the places that these 2 episodes went, and looking ahead, I think I see where we're going, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for to see all this wrap up. I'm having a blast, which is something I wasn't sure I was going to have after the first couple episodes. So
I have gone from lukewarm on this to I'm in it. Let's go.
Dream
Why don't we
Warriors!
have the next few episodes already? Where are they?
I want to shove them in my face.
We have to do week to week.
That is the worst thing about getting caught up, is then having to wait.
Caught up on Overlord, caught up on RWBY, caught up on Parallel World Pharmacy, caught up on
Harley Quinn.
Caught up on Harley Quinn. Caught up on so much stuff. And that's the point where it's like, hey, you're like 30 episodes behind in Ghost Game. And I'm like, stop it. I'm rewatching Overlord, leave me alone.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough. Especially for like when, again, just given like workload, what you have the capacity to consume versus like
what's on the watch list.
Yeah, and what you have to watch for a variety of reasons, like for shows, and then like what you have space for versus like just in your brain to
capacity.
Just to absorb passively versus what you can absorb if you have work to do. No, it's a tough game.
Anyway,
there's so much that we need to get caught up on for like video purposes that just hasn't happened yet, because it's like, what do you have the capacity to absorb while you're working until like X o'clock at night?
Anyway,
this was fun.
This was a good time.
I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. I also have a YouTube channel called Silver Screams, where you heard us talk about horror things just now. We do a lot of that over there.
That is what we do.
That is the main thing we do over there, in fact. I also have a podcast called No Love Lost, where my co-host Will Link loves Lost, and I don't, and we talk about it. We are also on Rooster Team Radio, where we talk about Rooster Teeth-related productions, so go check those out.
Yes. And I'm Katie. You can follow me all over the social medias, as well as on Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on a weekly show called Nighttime at the Nerd Bar over on the Fanversation YouTube channel, where my co-host Carrie and I talk about all things nerdy. We're currently covering Season 4 of Overlord. I talk about Overwatch League every week. Sometimes we have guests on and we do interviews. We just talk about all sorts of fun, crazy stuff. We recently covered the Dragon Ball Super superhero premiere, so we've got that on there. It's a very good time. We tape at 7:30 Pacific on Mondays, so join us in the live chat. It's very fun. Yes, if you want to support the channel, we got the Patreon, which gets you videos early. We have the Ko-fi if you want to throw a couple bucks our way, and we do commissions, not requests, commissions. I'm sure I have other stuff. I don't remember most of it. Get vaccinated, wear a mask, vote in your local elections, support the post office. Those are all very important things. And support your local libraries. Even just starting up a library card and checking out a book is super helpful. Support your local libraries. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, ding, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Congratulations. You need to bookend this sucker.